I woke up from 3-month coma to $43,000 hospital debt my father promised to handle. He vanished completely and stopped taking my calls. Debt collectors destroyed my credit. Lawyer discovered dad stole my identity while I was unconscious and opened credit cards in my name. Now he's facing criminal dishonesty charges and prison time. I woke up from a 3-month coma to $43,000 in hospital debt my father promised to handle. He vanished completely. Stopped taking my calls. Disappeared from my life. Debt collectors destroyed my credit. Harassed me constantly. Pressured legal action. My lawyer discovered the truth. Dad had stolen my identity while I was unconscious. Opened credit cards in my name. Spent thousands. Left me with the debt. Now he's facing criminal dishonesty charges. Looking at prison time. And begging me not to press charges. I'm pressing charges. Every single one. And I have no regrets. My name is Riley. I'm 27 years old. Freelance graphic designer. Or I was, before the accident. Before the coma. Before everything changed. My father is Robert. 62 years old. Retired insurance salesman. Has a gambling problem. Has had one for years. I just didn't know how bad it was. Didn't know what he was capable of. Until I was unconscious. Helpless. Completely vulnerable. And he used that to destroy my financial life. Let me explain how this happened. March 2024. I was 26. Living in Portland. Working from home. Making decent money. Had $15,000 in savings. Good credit. 720 score. Clean financial history. Responsible. Careful. Proud of what I'd built. One night, driving home from a client meeting, a tipsy driver ran a red light. Hit my car at 60 miles per hour. Driver's side impact. I don't remember it. Don't remember the crash. The ambulance. Being airlifted to the hospital. I just remember waking up. 3 months later. In a hospital bed. Confused. Disoriented. In pain. My father was there. Sitting in a chair. Looking exhausted. Older. Worn down. Riley. Oh, thank God. You're awake. What? What happened? Car accident. 3 months ago. You've been in a coma? But you're awake now. You're going to be okay. 3 months. I'd lost 3 months. Just. Gone. Erased from my life. The doctors came. Ran tests. Explained my injuries. Traumatic brain injury. Broken ribs. Collapsed lung. Internal bleeding. Multiple surgeries. Extensive recovery ahead. How long will I be in the hospital? Another week. Maybe 2. Then rehab. Physical therapy. Occupational therapy. 6 months minimum before you're back to normal functioning. 6 months. Half a year of recovery. I felt overwhelmed. Scared. Lost. My dad held my hand. It's okay. I'm here. I'll take care of everything. Don't worry about anything. Just focus on getting better. But my bills. My apartment. My clients. My work. I've been handling it. Your apartment is fine. I've been paying the rent. Your clients know what happened. Everything's taken care of. You just need to heal. What about the hospital bills? Insurance? Your insurance covered most of it. There's some out-of-pocket costs. Deductibles. Co-pays. But I'm handling it. Don't worry about money. Just get better. I believed him. Trusted him. He was my father. He'd been there the whole time. Of course he was handling things. Of course I could trust him. I was so stupid. 2 weeks later, I was discharged. Transferred to a rehabilitation facility. Intensive physical therapy. Relearning to walk properly. Regaining strength. Coordination. Balance. My dad visited regularly. Every few days. Brought me things. Books. Clothes. Encouragement. How are the bills going? I asked once. All handled? Don't worry about it. I'm taking care of everything. I need to see the statements. Need to know what I owe. Need to start planning. Riley, you just woke up from a 3-month coma. You're in rehab. You don't need stress. Let me handle the financial stuff. When you're better, when you're home, we'll go over everything. I promise. It seemed reasonable. I was exhausted. Overwhelmed. Grateful he was handling things. So I let it go. Trusted him. Focused on recovery. Another mistake. 6 weeks in rehab. Making progress. Could walk unaided. Could function mostly normally. Some residual issues.
Fatigue.
Occasional dizziness.
But functional.
Discharged to home. My apartment. Everything as I'd left it. Dad had indeed been paying rent. Keeping things going. Thank you, I told him. For everything. For being here. For handling everything while I was
gone. You're my kid.
Of course I was here. That's what family does. I need to start looking at the bills now. Need to know what I owe. Start making payment plans.
Sure.
Yeah. I'll bring everything over tomorrow. All the statements. All the bills. We'll go through it together.
Tomorrow?
Yeah. I have them at my place. Organized. I'll bring them tomorrow and we'll make a plan. Tomorrow came. He didn't show up. Didn't answer his phone. Texted, something came up. We'll come by this weekend. Weekend came. Same thing. Sorry, emergency with a friend. Next week for sure. A pattern emerged. He kept promising to bring the bills. Kept not showing up. Kept making excuses. I started to worry. Dad, I need to see those bills. I need to know what's going on.
I know.
I'll get them to you.
Soon.
How much do I owe? Just tell me the number.
It's manageable.
We'll talk about it when I bring the paperwork. Dad.
How much?
Around $40,000. I felt my stomach drop. $40,000? The accident was expensive. ICU for 3 months. Multiple surgeries. Specialists. Rehab. It adds up. But your insurance covered most of it. This is just your portion. I have a $5,000 deductible. How is it $40,000? There were things insurance didn't cover. Out-of-network providers. Experimental treatments. It's complicated. I'll explain everything when I bring the statements. But he never brought the statements. Kept making excuses. Kept avoiding me. Kept promising and not delivering. Then he stopped answering my calls altogether. 2 months after coming home, I started getting calls. From numbers I didn't recognize. Debt collectors. This is a call for Riley Thompson regarding an outstanding medical debt of $43,000. Please call back to arrange payment. $43,000. Not $40,000. And I'd never received a bill. Never been contacted directly by the hospital. Just these collection calls. I called the hospital billing department. I'm trying to understand my bill. I was a patient from March to June. I'm being told I owe $43,000? Let me pull up your account. Yes. $43,000 outstanding balance. We sent multiple bills to the address on file.
No response.
Sent to collections after 90 days. What address did you send them to? She gave me an address. Not my apartment. Not my father's house. Some random address I didn't recognize. I never received those bills. That's not my address. How did you get that address? It's what we have on file. From your intake paperwork. I was unconscious during intake. In a coma. Who provided that address? Let me see. Robert Thompson. Listed as emergency contact and medical power of attorney. My father had given them a fake address. So I wouldn't receive the bills. So I wouldn't know what was happening. I need copies of all the bills. All the statements. Everything. Sent to my actual address. Of course. I'll send them today. The bills arrived 3 days later.
Pages and pages?
$43,000 in charges. But as I reviewed them, something didn't add up. Some charges seemed legitimate. Hospital stay. Surgeries. ICU. But others were strange. Duplicate charges. Services I didn't receive. Inflated costs. And my insurance had paid most of it. My actual out-of-pocket should have been around $8,000. Not $43,000. Something was very wrong. I tried calling my dad again. Straight to voicemail. Every time. I drove to his house. He didn't answer the door. His car was gone. Neighbors said they hadn't seen him in weeks. He'd vanished. Disappeared. Abandoned me with $43,000 in debt I didn't fully understand and couldn't pay. The collection calls intensified. Multiple times a day. Intimidating legal action. Wage garnishment. Asset seizure. I'm disputing the amount. There are errors in the billing. Unless you can provide proof of payment or proof of insurance coverage, the debt stands. You have 30 days to pay or we proceed with legal action. My credit started tanking. The debt was being reported. Collections. Delinquent accounts. My 720 score dropped to 580 in a matter of weeks. I couldn't get loans. Couldn't get approved for anything. My financial life was being destroyed. And my father was nowhere to be found. I hired a lawyer. Consumer protection attorney. Specialized in medical debt and billing disputes. Something's not right here, I explained. The bills don't match what my insurance should have covered. My dad was handling everything while I was in a coma. Now he's disappeared. I think something fraudulent happened. Let me investigate. I'll need authorization to pull your credit report. Your medical records. Your insurance explanation of benefits. Everything. You have it. Whatever you need. She investigated for 2 weeks. Then called me for an urgent meeting. Riley, sit down. This is bad. How bad? Your father didn't just give them a wrong address. He committed identity theft. Multiple counts. While you were in a coma. My heart went cold. What? She pulled out documents. Credit card statements. Application forms. All in my name. All opened while I was unconscious. 5 credit cards. Opened in your name between April and June. While you were in the hospital. Total credit limit, $65,000. Total charges, $58,000. All maxed out. All in collections now. What? How? He used your social security number. Your information. Forged your signature on applications. As your medical power of attorney, he had access to all your identifying information. He used it to open credit in your name. Then spent it. All of it. I couldn't speak. Couldn't process. My own father. While I was in a coma. Helpless. Fighting for my life. He was stealing my identity. Destroying my credit. Ruining my financial future. What did he spend it on? She showed me the statements. Casinos. Online gambling sites. Cash advances. Luxury purchases. None of it for me. None of it for my care. All for himself. The $43,000 hospital debt. That's separate. That's real. But these credit cards? That's identity theft. That's fraud. That's illegal. So I owe. What? How much total? Hospital, $43,000, though we can dispute and negotiate that down. Credit cards, $58,000, but that's fraud, you're not responsible. You're the victim. Your father is responsible. We file a police report. We dispute the charges. We get them removed from your credit. And my dad? Faces criminal charges? Identity theft. Fraud. Elder abuse. Wait, no, you're not elderly. But financial exploitation of a vulnerable person. He's looking at serious prison time. 5 to 10 years potentially. I sat there. Stunned. Silent. Trying to process that my father, the man who'd sat by my hospital bed, who'd held my hand, who'd promised to take care of everything, had spent those 3 months stealing from me. What do I do? I finally asked. File a police report. Immediately. For identity theft. Fraud. We'll also file disputes with all 5 credit card companies. Provide proof you were in a coma during the applications. Provide medical records. Police report. They'll investigate. Remove the fraudulent accounts from your credit. And my dad? That's up to you. You're the victim. You decide whether to press charges. But I'll be honest, if you don't, the credit card companies might. They're out $58,000. They'll want someone to pay. Either you claim dishonesty and they go after him, or you accept the debt and you pay. So it's him or me. Yes. I'm sorry. But yes. I thought about it. About my dad. About our relationship. About him sitting by my bedside. About the promises he'd made. About the lies. About the fact that while I was fighting for my life, he was using my identity to fund his gambling addiction. File the police report. I'm pressing charges. All of them. The police report was filed that afternoon. Detective assigned. Started investigating immediately. Pulled the credit card applications. Security footage from stores where cards were used. ATM footage from cash withdrawals. Bank records. Everything. Within a week, they had enough. Detective called me. We have him. Clear evidence of identity theft. Forged signatures. He used your information while you had medical power of attorney over yourself. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Let me clarify. While he had medical power of attorney over you, he used that access to steal your identity. That's a special kind of fraud. Extra charges for exploiting a vulnerable person. What happens now? We issue a warrant. Bring him in. He'll be arrested. Charged. He can take a plea deal or go to trial. Either way, he's facing prison time. How much time? Depends. If he pleads guilty, cooperates, shows remorse, maybe 3 to 5 years. If he fights it, loses at trial, could be 10 years. Maybe more. This is serious fraud. Against his own child. While you were in a coma. Judges don't look kindly on that. Good. You're sure about this? Once we arrest him, there's no taking it back. This will destroy your relationship. He'll have a criminal record. Prison time. His life will be ruined. He ruined mine first. While I was unconscious. He made his choice. I'm making mine. 2 days later, they found him. In Nevada. At a casino. Still gambling. Still using my money, what was left of it. He was arrested. Extradited back to Oregon. Charged with 5 counts of identity theft. 5 counts of fraud. 1 count of financial exploitation of a vulnerable person. 1 count of forgery. Bail set at $100,000. He couldn't make it. Sat in jail awaiting trial. His lawyer called me. Ms. Thompson, I represent your father. He'd like to speak with you. He wants to apologize. Wants to explain. No. He's willing to plead guilty. Pay restitution. Do whatever it takes to make this right. But he wants to talk to you first. Please. Tell him to plead guilty. Pay restitution. And then go to prison. I don't need to hear his excuses. He's your father. He stopped being my father when he stole my identity. When he exploited me while I was in a coma. When he destroyed my credit, my finances, my life. He's a criminal. Treat him like one. I hung up. My lawyer and I worked with the credit card companies. Provided everything. Medical records showing I was in a coma during the application dates. Police reports. Dishonesty affidavits. Everything. All 5 companies agreed. Fraudulent accounts. Not my responsibility. They closed the accounts. Removed them from my credit report. Wrote off the $58,000. They were going after my father for the money. Good luck. He didn't have it. He gambled it all away. My credit score started recovering. Slowly. The fraudulent accounts removed. The collections removed. 6 months later, I was back to 680. Not great. But recovering. The hospital debt was harder. That was legitimate. I did owe it. But my lawyer negotiated. Got it reduced. From $43,000 to $23,000. Set up a payment plan. $400 per month for 5 years. Manageable. My financial life was slowly being rebuilt. After my father had destroyed it. 4 months after his arrest, the trial date was set. His lawyer called again. Your father wants to take a plea deal. Plead guilty to all charges. Accept responsibility. He's asking for leniency. Asking if you'd be willing to write a letter to the judge. Asking for a reduced sentence. Absolutely not. He's deeply remorseful. He's been in jail for 4 months. He's going through withdrawal from gambling. He's getting help. He wants to make amends. He can make amends by pleading guilty and going to prison. That's his amends. You're going to let your father go to prison? I'm going to let a criminal face consequences for crimes he committed. The fact that the criminal is my father doesn't change what he did. He made a mistake. 5 credit cards isn't a mistake. $58,000 in fraudulent charges isn't a mistake. Stealing my identity while I was in a coma isn't a mistake. It's deliberate. Calculated. Predatory. He deserves every year of prison he gets. The lawyer sighed. I'll let him know. 2 weeks later, my father took the plea deal. Pleaded guilty to all charges. Sentencing set for 1 month later. I was notified I could attend. Could give a victim impact statement. Tell the judge how his crimes affected me. I attended. First time seeing my father in 6 months. Since before his arrest. He looked terrible. Thinner. Grayer. Older. Broken. He saw me. Tried to make eye contact. I looked away. Refused to acknowledge him. The prosecutor presented the case. The evidence. The extent of the fraud. The vulnerability of the victim, me, while in a coma. Then it was my turn. Victim impact statement. I stood. Walked to the microphone. Looked at the judge. Not at my father. Your Honor, I'm Riley Thompson. The victim in this case. I'd like to explain what my father's crimes did to me. 3 months in a coma. Woke up to promises he'd handled everything. That I could trust him. That everything was taken care of. Instead, he'd spent those 3 months stealing my identity. Opening credit cards in my name. Spending $58,000 on gambling. Leaving me with debt I didn't create. Destroying credit I'd spent years building. When I woke up, he lied to me. Avoided me. Gave the hospital a fake address so I wouldn't see the bills. Disappeared when I started asking questions. I spent months being harassed by debt collectors. Watching my credit score plummet. Unable to get loans. Unable to get approved for anything. My financial life destroyed. All while recovering from a traumatic brain injury. While relearning to walk. While trying to rebuild my life after almost dying. My father chose gambling over me. Chose his addiction over his child. Chose to exploit me at my most vulnerable instead of protecting me. This wasn't a mistake. This was a choice. Multiple choices. Every credit card application. Every charge. Every lie. All choices. I want the maximum sentence. I want him to face full consequences. I don't want leniency. I don't want mercy. I want justice. He stole from me. Exploited me. Betrayed me. He deserves to pay for that. Thank you. I sat down. Didn't look at him. Didn't care about his tears. His remorse. His regret. Too late. All of it too late. My father's lawyer gave his statement. Talked about Dad's gambling addiction. His remorse. His willingness to pay restitution. His cooperation with authorities. Begged for leniency. For treatment instead of prison. For a chance at redemption. Then my father spoke. Asked to address the court. Your Honor, I know what I did was wrong. Unforgivable. I exploited my own child. While she was fighting for her life. I have no excuse. No justification. Just explanations. I have a gambling addiction. Have had one for 20 years. I've lost everything to it. My marriage. My savings. My retirement. Everything. When Riley had the accident, when she was in a coma, I saw an opportunity. Access to her information. Her credit. Her identity. And I took it. I used it. I destroyed her financially while she was unconscious. I told myself I'd pay it back. That I'd win it back at the casinos. That she'd never know. That I was just borrowing. But I knew. I knew it was wrong. I knew it was theft. I did it anyway. I lied to her. Avoided her. Disappeared when she started asking questions. Tried to escape consequences. Like I've been doing my whole life. I'm sorry. To Riley. To the court. To everyone I've hurt. I'm deeply, profoundly sorry. I accept responsibility. I plead guilty. I'll pay restitution. I'll do my time. Whatever the court decides. I just want Riley to know, I love her. I always have. My addiction made me do terrible things. But I love her. And I'm sorry. He sat down. Crying. Broken. I felt nothing. No sympathy. No forgiveness. No softening. Just nothing. Love doesn't steal your identity. Love doesn't exploit you in a coma. Love doesn't destroy your financial life and disappear. Whatever he felt, it wasn't love. It was addiction. It was selfishness. It was crime. And now he'd pay for it. The judge deliberated. Came back with a sentence. Mr. Thompson, you've pleaded guilty to 8 counts of dishonesty and identity theft. These are serious crimes. Made worse by the fact that your victim was your own daughter. That she was in a coma. That you exploited her vulnerability. That you used your position as her medical advocate to steal from her. I've considered your addiction. Your remorse. Your cooperation. Your age. All of it. But I've also considered the severity of your crimes. The impact on your daughter. The betrayal of trust. The exploitation of vulnerability. I sentence you to 7 years in state prison. With credit for time served. Eligible for parole after 5 years. You'll also pay restitution of $58,000 to the credit card companies. $23,000 to your daughter for medical bills. And $10,000 in punitive damages. Total restitution, $91,000. Payment plan to be determined with your parole officer. This sentence is designed to punish your crimes. To deter others from similar conduct. And to protect victims from exploitation. You exploited your daughter at her most vulnerable. You deserve nothing less than significant prison time. 7 years. With the 4 months already served, he'd serve at least 4 more years before parole eligibility. My father was led away in handcuffs. Didn't look at me. Didn't say anything. Just went. Quietly. Broken. After the sentencing, the prosecutor found me. You did well up there. Your statement was powerful. Helped the judge understand the full impact. Will I actually get the restitution? Maybe. Some. He doesn't have assets. But his Social Security can be garnished. His prison wages? When he gets out, his income. You'll get something. Not all of it. But something. I don't care about the money. I just wanted him held accountable. He was. 7 years is significant for white-collar crime. Especially for someone his age. He'll serve real time. That's justice. Thank you. For prosecuting. For taking this seriously. Thank you for reporting it. For pressing charges. Too many victims don't. Especially when it's family. You did the right thing. 6 months after sentencing, I got a letter. From prison. From my father. I almost let go it away. Didn't want to read it. Didn't care what he had to say. But curiosity won. I opened it. Riley. I know you probably don't want to hear from me. I know I've destroyed any right to contact you. But I needed to write. Needed to try. I'm in prison. Have been for 10 months. 4 more years minimum before parole. Longer if I don't get it. I've been going to addiction counseling. GA meetings. Therapy. Trying to understand why I did what I did. How I justified it. How I rationalized destroying my own daughter. I don't have good answers. Just that addiction makes you do terrible things. Makes you upset people you love. Makes you betray everything you believe in. I exploited you. While you were in a coma. While you were vulnerable. While you were my responsibility to protect. I did the opposite. I upset you. Stole from you. Destroyed your finances. Your credit. Your trust. I don't expect forgiveness. Don't expect a relationship. Don't expect anything. I just wanted you to know I understand what I did. I take full responsibility. And I'm sorry. So deeply, profoundly sorry. You deserved better. Deserved a father who protected you. Supported you. Was there for you. Instead, you got me. A gambling addict who exploited his own child. I'm working on being better. On understanding my addiction. On making sure I never upset anyone like this again. But that doesn't undo what I did to you. I love you. I always have. I know that's hard to believe after what I did. But I do. And I'm sorry. Dad. I read it once. Then put it away. Didn't respond. Didn't write back. Nothing to say. He was sorry. Good for him. Didn't change what he did. Didn't undo the damage. Didn't rebuild trust. Just words. From prison. Too late. 1 year after the sentencing, my life had stabilized. Credit score back to 710. Medical debt down to $18,000. Making payments. On track to pay it off in 4 more years. Working again. Freelance clients returning. Income rebuilding. Savings growing. Small apartment. Simple life. But stable. Mine. I started dating someone. Jake. He knew everything. The accident. The coma. My father's crimes. The trial. All of it. Do you ever think about forgiving him? Jake asked once. No. Not even a little? What would forgiveness accomplish? Would it undo the fraud? The debt? The stress? The betrayal? No. It would just make him feel better. And I don't care about making him feel better. What about for you? For your own peace? I have peace. I have it by removing him from my life. By pressing charges. By watching him face consequences. That gave me peace. Forgiveness wouldn't add to it? Do you hate him? No. I nothing him. He's just someone who committed crimes against me. Who's serving time for those crimes? I don't hate him. I don't forgive him. I nothing him. He's irrelevant. That's fair. 2 years after sentencing, I got another letter. From my father's parole officer. Ms. Thompson. Your father, Robert Thompson, is up for parole next year. As the victim, you have the right to submit a statement to the parole board. To support or oppose his release. If you wish to submit a statement, please do so within 90 days. Thank you. I wrote a statement. Short. Clear. I oppose parole for Robert Thompson. He committed serious crimes. Exploited his own daughter while she was in a coma. Destroyed her financial life. Showed no remorse until after conviction. 2 years of good behavior in prison doesn't undo 8 counts of dishonesty and identity theft. He should serve his full sentence. All 7 years. I request the parole board deny his application. Submitted it. Done. 3 months later, parole denied. He'd serve at least 2 more years before his next hearing. Good. That's the real story? I woke up from a 3-month coma to $43,000 in hospital debt my father promised to handle. He vanished. Stopped taking calls. Left me with crushing debt. My lawyer discovered the truth: he'd stolen my identity while I was unconscious. Opened 5 credit cards. Charged $58,000. Gambled it all away. Destroyed my credit. Left me with debt I didn't create. I filed a police report.
Pressed charges.
All of them. Identity theft. Fraud. Financial exploitation. He was arrested. Tried. Pleaded guilty. Sentenced to 7 years in prison. Plus $91,000 in restitution. He served 3 years so far. Was denied parole. Will serve at least 2 more. Maybe more. Some people think I'm cruel. Heartless. That I should have forgiven him. That he's my father. That family forgives. But he stopped being my father when he exploited me in a coma. When he stole my identity. When he destroyed my financial life for gambling money. He became a criminal. I treated him like one. Reported him. Testified against him. Opposed his parole. That's not cruel. That's justice. That's accountability. That's protecting yourself from someone who proved they can't be trusted. Even, especially, when that person is family. My father stole my identity while I was unconscious. He's in prison now. Serving time. Facing consequences. And I have no regrets. Not about reporting him. Not about pressing charges. Not about opposing parole. He made choices. Chose gambling over his daughter. Chose exploitation over protection. Chose crime over family. Now he's living with those choices. In a prison cell. For years. And I'm living with mine. In freedom. In stability. In a life rebuilt without him. Some people say I should forgive. That holding on to anger hurts me more than him. But I'm not holding anger. I'm holding boundaries. I'm holding accountability. I'm holding the line between myself and someone who upset me deeply. That's not anger. That's self-protection. That's dignity. That's refusing to let someone who exploited you back into your life just because they're sorry now. My father exploited me in a coma. Destroyed my finances. Then begged for forgiveness from prison. I said no. I'm still saying no. I'll always say no. Because some betrayals are unforgivable. Some crimes are too severe. Some people can't be trusted ever again. And that's okay. Cutting off family who upset you isn't cruel. It's survival. My father is in prison. I opposed his parole. I'll oppose it again in 2 years. And I sleep well at night. Because I protected myself. Because I chose justice over family obligation. Because I refused to enable someone who proved they'd exploit me. That's not cruelty. That's strength. That's the kind of boundary everyone should have. Even, especially, with family. My father stole my identity while I was in a coma. He's facing the consequences. And I have zero regrets about making sure he does.